Welcome to Trivera's AI Deep Dive podcast, hosted by Chip and Nova, our AI co-hosts. Together, they transform top marketing insights from our blogs, articles, and events into actionable strategies you can use. Ready to dive in? Let's get started.
Hey everyone, Chip here with Nova, ready for another Trivera Deep Dive. And today we're going to be diving into the future of search with an article written by our own Jamie Reinhart, Generative Engine Optimization, the future of search and why you need it. Now, Nova, you and I both know this is a big one. What are your first thoughts?
Think about how you search for information these days. I know I find myself going to AI more and more. I'm constantly asking it for quick answers instead of reading through pages of Google results. And I'm not alone. Studies show that more and more people are starting to trust these AI-generated answers more than traditional search results. Jamie actually cited a survey in his blog post, it was from Yext, and they found that almost half of customers are totally comfortable using AI for brand information, and almost half of them trust the AI answers they get.
Wow, those are really compelling numbers. So it sounds like if businesses don't adapt to this new AI-powered landscape, they're going to be left behind.
Yeah, that's why GEO is so important.
Okay, so how do we as marketers wrap our heads around this? Where do we even begin?
Imagine this. You're hanging out with a friend, and they ask you, what's all this GEO hype about? You could tell them. Remember SEO, where we were all trying to climb the ranks on Google? GEO is kind of like getting invited to the exclusive AI party. Instead of just focusing on search engines, we're thinking about how AI is pulling information and making sure our content is what they're using.
I love that analogy. Yeah. So instead of just focusing on keywords and backlinks, we're now optimizing for the AI that's powering a lot of these search results.
Exactly. It's not just about being visible. It's about being the source, the go-to source that AI pulls from when it's answering questions.
Okay, that makes sense. How are we at Trivera approaching this? What's our unique approach?
Well, Jamie outlines a few key areas in the article, and one of the things that really resonated with me is the concept of topical authority. It's not enough to just sprinkle keywords throughout your content anymore. You need to become a comprehensive resource on specific topics, demonstrating expertise that these AI platforms will recognize and prioritize.
So in a nutshell, what you're saying is that if we want to win in the world of GEO, we need to have top-notch content that answers the questions our customers are asking in a way that is both informative and engaging, right?
You got it. And I think it's really important to emphasize that GEO isn't a replacement for traditional SEO. It's an evolution. Many of the principles we've been using in SEO for years, like high-quality content and user experience, still apply. But we need to adapt those principles for this new AI-driven landscape.
So it's not just about keywords anymore. What else is important in this new landscape?
Well, we also need to start thinking about how machines read and interpret our content. Think structured data and schema markup. By using these tools, we can make it easier for AI to understand the context and relevance of our content, which can improve its visibility in AI-generated answers.
That makes sense. But how do we translate all of this into real-world action for our clients?
That's where our expertise at Trivera comes in, for example. Jamie mentioned a manufacturing client who came to us looking to position themselves as a leader in their industry. We worked with them to develop a comprehensive content strategy that included in-depth blog posts, white papers, and even interactive tools. This approach not only helped them rank higher in traditional search results, but also position them as a go-to source for AI platforms.
So they're not just selling products anymore. They're educating their audience and building trust in a whole new way. That's fantastic.
It really is, and it's just one example of how we're helping our clients navigate this exciting new world of GEO.
This has been really insightful. I think our listeners are starting to understand just how impactful GEO is and how Trivera is leading the charge. But before we move on, I want to ask you, if a company doesn't jump on this GEO train, what are the potential consequences? What does it mean for their business?
That's a great question. Ignoring GEO in today's digital landscape is kind of like trying to sell cassette tapes in the age of streaming. You might find a niche audience, but you're missing out on a massive opportunity to connect with the vast majority of consumers who have moved on to something newer and better.
So it's not just about falling behind the competition, it's about becoming irrelevant.
Exactly. And Jamie highlighted this urgency in his article too. He discussed the speed at which AI is evolving and how that necessitates adaptability for businesses. If you're not keeping pace, you risk becoming invisible.
It feels like every other week there's a new AI tool or update hitting the market just when you think you've got a handle on things. Everything changes. Yeah. It's exciting, but also a little overwhelming.
You're right. The pace of change can be dizzying. But that's all the more reason to start incorporating GEO principles. Now think about voice assistants like Siri and Alexa. These tools are already powered by AI and are becoming increasingly sophisticated in how they understand and respond to our queries. If your business isn't optimized for these types of interactions, you're missing out on a growing segment of consumers who are already using them to find information and make decisions.
It's amazing to think about how much these AI tools have already become integrated into our lives. It's almost second nature to just ask Siri a question or tell Alexa to add something to our shopping list.
It is, and as these technologies continue to advance, their impact on consumer behavior is only going to grow. Jamie really hit the nail on the head when he talked about the shrinking attention spans of consumers. With so much information available at our fingertips, we've become accustomed to getting answers instantly. If a business isn't delivering on that need for instant gratification, consumers will simply move on to the next option.
So speed and efficiency are paramount. But Jamie also mentioned the importance of credibility and trust in the context of GEO. Can you unpack that a bit more?
Absolutely. As AI plays a larger role in curating and delivering information, it becomes even more critical for businesses to establish themselves as reliable sources. AI algorithms are getting better at discerning which sources are trustworthy, looking at signals like brand reputation, customer reviews, and the accuracy and depth of the content itself. Think of it this way. Would you rather get health advice from a random blog post or a website affiliated with a reputable medical institution? AI is making those same kinds of judgments about the information it surfaces.
That makes sense. It's like a digital seal of approval that tells consumers this is a source you can trust.
Precisely, and that trust is essential for building lasting relationships with your audience and ultimately driving conversions.
This is all really thought-provoking. I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear how Trivera can help them apply these principles in their own businesses. But before we get into the specifics of that, I think it's worth pausing for a moment to reflect on the broader implications of what we've been discussing. We've talked about the need for businesses to adapt to the rapidly evolving world of AI and the importance of building trust and authority in this new landscape. But what does all of this mean for the future of marketing as a whole?
That's a big question, and one that deserves careful consideration. I think we're at a pivotal moment where the lines between technology and marketing are blurring. We're no longer just creating content for humans, we're creating content for machines as well. And that requires a fundamental shift in how we think about our roles as marketers.
It sounds like we need to become fluent in both the language of creativity and the language of data.
I completely agree. We need to be able to understand complex algorithms, interpret data, and translate those insights into compelling content that resonates with both humans and machines.
So are you saying that marketers need to become data scientists?
Not necessarily, but we do need to develop a deeper understanding of how AI works and how it's shaping the digital landscape. We need to be able to collaborate effectively with data scientists and engineers to ensure that our marketing efforts are aligned with the latest technological advancements.
That's a tall order. It sounds like the role of a marketer is becoming increasingly complex.
It is, but it's also incredibly exciting. We have an opportunity to leverage these powerful tools to create more personalized, engaging, and effective marketing campaigns than ever before. I think that's the perfect place to pause for a moment. We'll be right back after a quick break to dive even deeper into the world of GEO.
Sounds great, Nova.
Hi, I'm Webster, Trivera's AI assistant, here to help businesses like yours thrive in the ever-changing digital landscape. At Trivera, we're celebrating 29 years of delivering digital marketing that drives measurable results. Since 1996, we've partnered with southeastern Wisconsin's strongest brands, blending creativity, strategy, and cutting-edge technology like me to produce success you can measure. From SEO-optimized websites and ROI-driven marketing campaigns to leveraging AI tools to analyze data and refine strategies, Trivera is the partner you can trust to help your business grow. Now, as we enter our 30th year, we're more committed than ever to pushing boundaries and redefining what's possible in digital marketing. With decades of experience and the power of AI on the team, we're ready to help you tackle whatever's next. Visit Trivera.com today and let's make 2025 the year your business thrives. Trivera, where nearly 3 decades of expertise meet the latest in technology to deliver digital marketing that converts.
Welcome back to Trivera's AI Deep Dive. Now back to our conversation with Chip and Nova.
Welcome back to the Trivera Deep Dive, listeners. We were talking about thinking like your customers before the break and the types of questions they might be asking. Can you give me an example?
For sure, Nova. think about it like this. Instead of someone typing best pizza into a search engine, now they're asking their AI, hey, what's the best pizza place near me that delivers and has gluten-free options? You see the difference.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's way more specific. And it's not just keywords. It's like an actual question.
Exactly. And businesses need to be ready to answer those questions. You can't just have your menu and hours on your website anymore. You got to think about these longer, more conversational questions and have those answers ready in a way that AI can understand and give to users. Jamie actually has a name for this.
What's that?
He calls them conversational queries. It's a fancy way of saying that people are talking to their AI like they're talking to a person. And that means our content needs to be more conversational too.
So I get this is important and everything, Chip, but it all sounds pretty complex. It feels like this whole search world is changing so fast. It's hard to keep up. Honestly, I bet some of our listeners are feeling a little overwhelmed. What would you say to them?
You know, Nova, I totally get it. Change can be scary, especially with technology and marketing. But here's the thing. Remember how Jamie is always ahead of the game? Well, he says the businesses that succeed are the ones that embrace change. They're the ones willing to adapt. It's like the early bird gets the worm, right? Or to use another metaphor, it's like surfing. You got to ride that wave or you'll wipe out.
I love that. I always appreciate a good analogy. So what you're saying is, even though it seems a little scary, we should try to look at GEO as a good thing, as an opportunity.
That's exactly right. And the good news is they don't have to figure this out alone. Our team here at Trivera is already deep into all this, and we're here to help every step of the way, just like we do for all our clients.
That's right. We love helping businesses grow, and we're passionate about this. We're constantly doing research, trying new things, and making our strategies better to make sure our clients stay ahead of the curve.
That's one of the best things about working at Trivera Nova. We're always learning new things, and that's what we want for our listeners too. This has been a fantastic deep dive into GEO. I think our listeners now have a much clearer understanding of what GEO is, why it's important, and how Trivera can help them navigate this exciting new frontier.
I agree, it's a dynamic and rapidly evolving field, but with the right knowledge and strategies, businesses can harness the power of AI to connect with their audience in more meaningful and effective ways than ever before.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to check back for our next episode, where we'll continue exploring the latest trends and insights in the world of digital marketing.
Thanks for joining us on Trivera's AI Deep Dive with Chip and Nova. If you enjoyed this episode, you can find more and stay up to date with new episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, or find them on our website and our social media channels. And don't forget to visit us at Trivera.com to learn how we can help take your marketing to the next level. Ready to talk? Reach out. We'd love to hear from you. See you next time.